Hi, book readers. My name is Klara. Today we're going to read a story. This story is about a beautiful young girl that has 7 friends. So, that's right. Today we are going to read Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, adapted by Anna Moles, illustrated by Olga Demidova. It was the coldest night of the coldest winter there had ever been. The queen watched the snow falling. It was so beautiful that she forgot her sewing. As she picked it up again... Ouch! A few weeks later, the queen gave birth to a daughter named Snow White. Sadly, the poor queen died. The king took a new wife. She was beautiful, but vain and mean-spirited. Every morning, the new queen would ask her magic mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all," the mirror would reply. But one day, the mirror said, "You, my queen, are fair, it's true, but Snow White is 100 times fairer than you." The queen became angry. She ran to find Snow White. It was true. The girl was the fairest of them all. "Huntsman! Huntsman!" she ordered. "Take Snow White into the forest and kill her! Take her!" But the huntsman was a good man. He let her run away. As Snow White wandered afraid in the forest, she came across a little house. The door was unlocked. Snow White peeked inside. A table was set with 7 little plates. Snow White was hungry and thirsty. She ate and ate. She drank and drank. Then, upstairs, Snow White found 7 little beds. Finally, she fell fast asleep. The house belongs to 7 dwarfs. They came home to a big surprise. Someone ate my food. Someone drank my water. Ooh! Shh! There's a girl asleep in my bed. Hee hee! Hush! When Snow White woke up in the morning, she told the dwarfs who she was. "You can stay if you can cook and clean and knit and wash and sew for us." That sounded like a lot of work, but what else could she do? That same morning, the queen asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" "You, my queen, are fair, it's true, but Snow White is 1,000 times fairer than you." The queen was angrier than ever. She cast a spell to find out where Snow White was. Then she disguised herself as an old woman selling trinkets. She walked through the forest to the dwarf's little house. Snow White bought a beautiful hairpin from her, but the queen had dipped it in poison. Uh-oh, I wonder what will happen next. When the dwarfs came home, they found Snow White on the floor. Quickly, they pulled the pin from her hair. Suddenly, she woke up. Back at the palace, the queen asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" Once again, the mirror replied, "You, my queen, are fair, it's true, but Snow White is 1,000,000 times fairer than you." The queen was furious, so she found an apple, filled it with poison, and hurried into the forest. What a bad queen! The queen knocked on the door of this little house. "Who would like to buy this delicious apple?" The apple looked so good that Snow White couldn't resist. She bit into it, and then she collapsed. Once again, the queen asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." Finally, the dwarfs were heartbroken and wept for a day and a night. All of the animals could see how lovely Snow White was. For a year and a day, they watched over her. One morning, some men came riding by. The horses' bells jingled, and the men's spurs jangled, for they were the fine men and fine horses of Prince Harold. Who is this? The heartbroken dwarfs told him their tale. Alas, said the prince. He leaned over to give Snow White a single kiss. Snow White woke up! But when the evil queen questioned the mirror again, it replied, You, my queen, are fair, it's true, but Snow White is fairer and gentler and kinder, so everyone loves her, not you. The queen was so angry that she disappeared in a puff of smoke. And the prince and Snow White were soon married and lived happily ever after. The end. I broke the spell. You did very well, isn't it swell? This is not the fairest story of them all. Snow White's stepmother. Well guys, I think that's enough for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If yes, like and subscribe. Bye!